What is the best advice you've ever been given? Here are a few of mine, and let's see if you can figure out who they're from. I will reveal them all at the end of this video. Hi, I'm Brian Elliott. Welcome to another edition of Behind the Brand. Here's the first one. Brian, the world needs more people like you to step up and take initiative. The good news and bad news about initiative is no one hands it to you. You have to take it. I love this advice, and it really rang true to me. In fact, it's the reason I started this show in the first place. No one gave me permission to start a YouTube channel. No one gave me a license or a certificate to tell the kind of stories that I want to tell here. I just felt like I had something to give, something valuable to share, and so I did it. Good advice. The next one is, Brian, you know what your problem is? You're half pregnant here. And as you know, you cannot be half pregnant. Just like you can't fake being good at push-ups. So what's it gonna be? Yeah, he or she was right. I was sort of trying to be everything to everyone. I didn't really focus on my niche, and of course when you do that, you get nothing done, you reach no one. In fact, I just created a video about that if you haven't seen it, why creating a deep, narrow niche is so important. Go check that video out. I'll leave the link in the description. The next one is, your brain is not designed to make you happy. That's your job.
Whoa.
This was super, this was a thinker. Really good advice. I hadn't really thought of it that way before, that I am in control of my brain, and that sometimes my brain does not give me the best advice. Think about the prehistoric days when we were living in caves, hiding from big animals with bigger teeth. We didn't go outside because it could have been our last. So our brain taught us and conditioned us to play it safe, minimize risk. And the reality is that still exists, I guess, to some extent. But not everything is as scary or risky or dangerous as our brain may perceive it to be. So your brain doesn't always give you the best advice in the best situation. I just had this conversation with my young son, and I'm trying to teach him not to be afraid of the dark. Honestly, I'm a little bit still afraid of the dark, but going to sleep in his own bedroom and staying there is an important thing to learn, especially eventually when you go off to college and live with friends. But I said, right now is not a reasonable or logical time to be afraid. I said, if you're camping out in the middle of the Amazon, be afraid. Jaguars, snakes, big insects. That is a really, really good time to be afraid, to be scared, and to be worried. But right now, in the safety and security of your own bedroom, you're fine. So tell your brain to shh, be quiet. The last one is, and this is a hint that it came from one of the people I've already mentioned, is, and it's a little bit controversial. I'm sorry. Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down? If you're a Star Wars fan, I'm sorry. But Yoda was wrong. Yoda was wrong when he said, do or do not, there is no try. The advice I was given is, Brian, there has to be a try. Because if you're not trying, you're either hiding or you're lying about it. And so, which is it? Trying is everything. If you're moving your feet, we're all amateurs when we first start. And so there has to be this try. This idea that failure is not an option. Well, of course failure is an option. It has to be an option because, sure, there's a Hail Mary pass and people catch it on the first try and they win the game, or they play the lottery once and they win it. That happens from time to time, but that is the, exception. That's an anomaly. It almost never happens. All of us have to learn things. Think about how you learned and how you got better at what you are good at now. You had to learn probably by a lot of trial and error. Yes, some of us are born with innate gifts. Yes, I'm incredibly funny. I tell jokes and people laugh. That's not true at all.
If this doesn't work out for Clay, he's going to be a stand-up comedian one day. There's no question about it.
But we're born with certain innate gifts, and as we practice and trial and error, we can get better at them. Okay, now let me reveal who said what. Here we go. I love that you say there's thousands of books, maybe millions of books that talk to us about what to do, and we can go to graduate school and learn what to do, but what's missing is how to do it or actually to go. Talk about just that piece, initiative.
Well, first thing to say about initiative is no one gives you initiative. You have to take it, which is really cool. Most people don't think about it that way, but it's true. I taught at the NYU School of Business graduate school. I had the most popular course in the school. And there were 60 people in the class, no grades. No tests, no homework, 100% class participation.
Yeah.
And one of the classes I come in and I said, everyone bring a cell phone. And I called people up one at a time. And I gave them a phone number of someone, and I said, call this person and sell them a subscription to Time Magazine while everyone in the class watches you. Now, tell me exactly what the downside is here. They'll hang up on you.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't call, I'm going to give you an F.
Right.
1/3 of the class wouldn't make the call.
Really?
Because the act of having to talk extemporaneously to a stranger in front of the class was so overwhelming to people who had never, ever been asked to take initiative that they just shut down. I mean, the way you get to the second year at the Stern School of Business is you get A's from the time you're in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And the way you get A's is you just say, what are the instructions? What does this do?
What do you need me to follow? Yeah.
Exactly.
Conformity.
Yeah.
But if you've just been talking, I'll be honest with you. I'm now finishing my tour on Thank You Economy. This is one of the last events I'm doing for quite a long time. I feel like I need to shut up and go do again. If I want to be relevant in 2015, I need to go do. I need to get some dirt under these fingernails, not be pampered and get flown out and do events. I need to go get raw again because that is the only way I'm going to be good, the only way I'm going to be relevant. It's the way I look at push-ups.
Yeah.
You can't read about push-ups. Clearly I read about push-ups.
Yeah.
But if you've got big guns, you're doing the push-ups.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with, if I can't find ecstasy in this moment here with you, Brian, as weird as that may sound, if I can't enjoy this moment thoroughly, more accolades, more economics, more business, more whatever is not going to make your life any better. But if you can enjoy each moment and you can let go of what the brain does when it starts to make up all these stories that you're stressing yourself out about, then if there's a problem, you'll handle that problem from a different place, as opposed to trying to handle the problem from feeling weak or tired or exhausted or stressed or pissed off or whatever the case may be.
Well, it's easier said than done, right? I mean, do you think it's a function of not feeling you've got options, or you've exhausted those options, now you're out of hope? What is it?
Well, it's different for everybody, but it's the mind. You know, your brain, my brain is 2 million years old, and it's not designed to make you happy, right? It's designed to make you survive. Happiness is your job. The brain's not going to do that. The brain is always looking for what's wrong and have a fight or a flight for that, right? It's survival. And since there's no saber-toothed tiger for us to deal with anymore, now we worry about what are people thinking of us, or, you know, do I make enough money, or will this person stay with me, and all these things that the mind does. And so the mind's always going to do that. It's learning how to train yourself with a new set of habits to look at it, to be entertained by the mind, and to know that you're more than your mind. You know, I teach people techniques on how to use their body to change the mind. Because you try to just manipulate your thoughts, you can kind of find yourself going in circles. We've all rationalized a million things. But I found that when you physiologically, when you focus on the heart, when you breathe in the heart, there's scientific studies that show that when you're really stressed, I could take your EEG and your EKG, the electrical pulses in your brain and your heart, and they look very jagged and they look nothing like each other. If all you do is physically touch your heart and concentrate on your heart and breathe in your heart, and for 2 minutes think of 3 things you're grateful for, simplistic as that sounds, I can show you, I can line you up, and you'll see your EEG and your EKG, first of all, go from jagged to rounded, and then they literally become identical and in sync. And when they're in sync, that's when you're in that flow state. That's when, like, the perfect words come through you, and you're like, where'd that come from? I like that, you know? That's when stress disappears. That's when you come up with that brilliant idea you've been trying to find.
You're in the zone.
And you're in the zone, but you can put yourself in the zone rather than hoping the zone shows up.
I made videotapes that didn't work and books that didn't work. My lesson was, if I fail more than you do, I win. Because built into that lesson is this notion that you get to keep playing. If you get to keep playing, that means you get to keep failing, and sooner or later, you're going to make it succeed. The people who lose are either the ones who don't fail at all and get stuck, or the ones who fail so big they don't get to play again.
You know, I'm gonna flip the switch on you. Like, it's how I kind of think about this show. You know, I've been watching from afar and impressed with your grind. You're hustling, right? And you're pounding and you're pounding. And look, I was there 2 years every day of Wine Library TV, not selling more wine, investing. And you know, and that's what it is. One gal at 2 o'clock in the morning that's at HBO is, you know, surfing around and sees this interview and is like, that host's got it, and your life changes.